Another way that I like to use holiday sales is to stock up on stuff I already use. And because there are always holiday sales, I start planning for this back in like August, September. I kind of go through all of our skincare, I go through all of our toiletries, shampoo, etc., and all of our vitamin supplements because these are things that I'm constantly buying because we're always using supplements, using shampoo, using face cream. I go through and I see how much we have left, and then I try not to buy any more until the holiday sales hits because then I can save like sometimes up to 50% of my holiday sales, and then I just on the regular prices, and then I just stock up on things I'm gonna buy anyway. So I'm using the holiday sales to benefit me and to not just buy things that I don't know if I want or don't know if I need. On today's Harness the Power of Planning podcast, I dish on 3 short, timely holiday topics. First, I'm going to talk about the benefits and fun of giving homemade and functional gifts and give you ideas on how to do this. Second, I'm going to demonstrate my plan for maximizing holiday sales so that I'm not buying random things and I'm saving myself tons of money and stress. And finally, I explain how to tweak your holiday plan as those unexpected invitations start heading your way on episode 82, starting now. Hi, I'm Alegre with Beyond Your Wildest Dreams, or BYWD, as we say, and welcome to our Thursday live broadcast. If you're listening to the recording, then you're listening to the Harness the Power of Planning podcast, which you can always catch wherever you like to listen to podcasts. And today we are talking about a few different things. It's just going to be me today. So I'm talking about giving handmade, homemade, and functional gifts and why that's great. But then I'm also talking about ways to maximize the holiday sales because I do like to take advantage of the holiday sales, but maybe not in the way that you're thinking. And then finally, we're going to talk about tweaking your holiday plan as it's going because right now we're in the midst of the holidays and you might be thinking to yourself, well, how do I tweak the plan that I came up with earlier? If you saw one of our earlier podcasts or earlier live videos, we talked about putting together a holiday plan in order to ensure that you're not just making magic, but that you're feeling the magic because you deserve it. And also, part of the holiday plan too is about ensuring that you're still taking care of yourself. You're not saying, okay, for the next 2 months, it's just going to be crazy. And you're just letting everything that is important to you fall by the wayside because I've just found that that doesn't really work well in the long run. You know, you end up getting tired or sick or feeling resentful. And so having a holiday plan is the way you avoid that. And if you didn't have a chance to do the holiday plan, there is a $11 video workshop that you can do on our website. And you can find that at the website /rock your holidays. So if you go to bywdreams.com and then you'll see the rock your holidays under things that we teach, you can go and do that workshop there. We really walk you through it. And so it's never too late to come up with a plan. It might even help you think about next year in a different way. And so, you know, at this point, I kind of just recycle my holiday plan, but we'll get to that more when we get to that portion of the podcast today. So, I wanted to start out by talking about gift giving because in many traditions, gift giving is happening. And we talked a few weeks ago about gifts that we want as women, as moms, as working parents. But now I'm going to talk more about giving gifts. And I enjoy gift giving, but I also like to make sure that I'm giving people things that they're actually going to use. And I'm also interested in making sure that I'm not like just cluttering up people's homes, just like filling the space that says give a gift with some random thing. And one of the ways that I do this is by either ensuring that the gift is homemade, and often when it's homemade, it's consumable. So either cookies or bread or eggnog. Eggnog is my new favorite. gift to give, or that they're functional. And I have this, I did put together these functional gift ideas. If you click this QR code here, you'll see the functional gift ideas that I had put together, that include lots of gifts that I've actually given because they were such great functional gifts. So if you're interested in functional gift ideas, click on this QR code up here and you can find those. But, another great functional gift idea is if you live somewhere that's known for something, maybe you're known for honey, or maybe you're known for blueberry jam, or maybe if you're in Vermont, you're known for maple candy, and it's something that people actually like. Like, for instance, I don't understand the giving of fruitcakes because in my experience, they tend to not be very good. I also want to say the same thing about panettone, which is this Italian bread with dried fruits in it. They're not good because a lot of times fruitcakes and the panettone, they're really old by the time they get to you. So they're just not edible. And it's so wasteful to give something that someone is going to not be able to use. So if you live somewhere where they're known for a great product that people actually like, give that as a gift. It could be soap, it could be honey, it could be salsa, whatever. Those are great gifts to give. Now, if you make any of those gifts, if you have a beehive, if you make jam, if you make salsa, fantastic. Now, I do want to say one thing, which is if you know my background, then you know I used to have a food product. And so I'm well versed in food safety. If you're going to make a homemade gift, just make sure to do a little bit of research because there are some homemade gifts that are like, for instance, anything with garlic and oil. Definitely do your research because that can be problematic from a food safety perspective. However, as long as you're following good principles, people have been making these types of things for generations, then do that. I love making sourdough bread as a gift. I love doing cookies as a gift. And I also love eggnog, which is my new favorite thing. And actually, if you signed up for our email list, you're going to be getting my eggnog recipe soon. It's basically like 6 ingredients. This eggnog has ruined me for store-bought eggnog. I cannot buy store-bought eggnog. You could have a whole party around eggnog. That's how good this eggnog is. And it's not alcoholic. It's fantastic. And if you want to, people can add alcohol or they can add actually whatever they want to add. Like maybe you just want to have even just like orange essential oil would be fantastic to add to eggnog because then it would give you like the feeling of Grand Marnier without actually having Grand Marnier, right? So you could have eggnog, you could have alcohol, and then you could also have these edible oils like orange oil would be fantastic. Peppermint oil would also be really good because again, it'd give you that like schnapps feel. Also almond extract because I happen to like amaretto. In fact, I'm going to try that because I can only put so much amaretto in, but almond extract. So these homemade functional gifts are fantastic. They're so appreciated. And it's something that someone can actually use, which for me makes me feel like I've done a good job giving a gift. By the way, if you're not good in the kitchen, I'm sure there are things you can do. For instance, I have a friend who is amazing with succulents. She will often gift little succulent gardens that she puts together in discarded coffee mugs or other random pottery. So figure out something that you can make and gift. Another idea for something that was giftable was I used to work for a textile company. And so when we would switch between fabrics, we would have these swatches left over that were essentially trash. And that drove me crazy. And so I'm like, this is perfectly good fabric. What I would do is I would take the fabric and I could do enough sewing just to do a hem and I would make napkins out of them and then give people napkins. So look for ways to turn things that you already have access to into something that is giftable. Creativity, it's a way of thinking. It's a skill. It's not a inbred talent, if you will. I mean, we all have different levels of talent, but I really believe that creativity can be learned and that you can be creative in many different ways. So figure out a way to be creative and then go forth with that. And it'll be a gift that someone will appreciate even more because of the thought and the fact that you put yourself into it in some way. Okay, the next thing I wanted to talk about is holiday sales. We just finished the sales around Thanksgiving, right? So there's Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all of that stuff. And we're entering a period where there are going to be a whole bunch more of holiday sales coming up. And what I want to suggest to you is that you take advantage of the holiday sales. You plan, we always say planning makes everything easier, planning makes everything better, that you plan to use the holiday sales in a strategic way. What does that mean? So for me, I don't ever go to stores around the holidays. It's just I can't take all of the people. So I am not just randomly buying things. If I am buying something for a holiday sale, it's something that I was already going to buy, either something that I was curious about that I've been thinking about buying, and so maybe I saw something in October and I thought to myself, "You know what? I don't need that thing right now, but I'm curious." Actually, I can mention, one of the things. So, around October, I became interested in socks that you can use kind of like shoes, but they also provide grounding benefits, which I can't even get into that topic. But I was curious about these grounding socks that are have enough structural integrity that you can walk around and, like, if you step on something hard or something, it would actually provide some resistance so you wouldn't, like, get a nail in your foot wearing these socks out and about. Anyway, so I had been interested in these grounding socks back in October, but because it was October, I'm like, "Oh, okay, holiday sales are gonna come up." So I wrote it down as something to check out and see what their holiday sale would be. So it was something I was already interested in. Another way that I like to use holiday sales is to stock up on stuff I already use. And because there are always holiday sales, I start planning for this back in, like, August, September. I kind of go through all of our skincare, I go through all of our toiletries, shampoo, etcetera, and all of our vitamin supplements, because these are things that I'm constantly buying because we're always using supplements, using shampoo, using face cream. I go through and I see how much we have left, and then I try not to buy any more until the holiday sales hits, because then I can save, like, sometimes up to 50% of my holiday sales, and then I just on the regular prices, and then I just stock up on things I'm gonna buy anyway. So I'm using the holiday sales to benefit me and to not just buy things that I don't know if I want or don't know if I need. With just a little bit of planning makes it so much easier, and then often I don't have to rebuy anything until summer, and then I'll buy a few things to last me until the next holiday sale, and it just saves a ton of money doing that way. In fact, I use it's hard to do it with skincare because the bottles, they kinda take up a lot of space. However, I use shampoo soap, like a bar soap, and so it's really small, and each bar soap, the company I use is Viori, Viori.com. I love their product, and each bar of soap lasts about 2 to 3 months. So literally, I only need like 6 to 10 of these bars, depending on if my husband and daughter are using it too, because my daughter switches her mind about what she wants to use for shampoo. Anyway, so it doesn't take up a lot of space because, 6 to 10 bars of soap only takes up this much space. I literally only buy soap from them once a year. I just buy for the whole year and then I never buy again. So take advantage of the holiday sales to stock up on things that you would buy anyway. It's just good planning. And, sometimes I take advantage of these sales. Like, for instance, when I first started using Viore, I've been using them for a while now. I think I've been using them pre-pandemic even. So 5, 6 years. The first year I discovered Viore, that was actually a gift that I gave to people because I thought, "Hey, here's this really cool product. It's a small company. I wanted to support them." and I wanted to introduce people to this cool product that I thought was different and really functional. So sometimes take advantage of the holiday sales to stock up on things you like. And if someone has been telling you lately that your hair or your skin or whatever look really good, consider gifting some of those items. That's the other thing too, is that when you are spending your money, consider buying from small companies, because when you buy from small companies, you're really supporting the entrepreneur in a different way than when you're buying from big companies. So I do get all of my skincare products, all of my hair care products, the supplements, I buy direct from these companies, and I buy from companies that I know make quality products, but are not like Wall Street, Fortune 500 type companies, because then you know that your money is really going to support an entrepreneur who's doing something that you appreciate. So shop small and shop strategically. It's also a good time to try out something new. Like, so for instance, another brand that I really love is called True Botanicals. That's the majority of my skincare is True Botanicals. And I will use their holiday sale to try out something new that maybe I hadn't tried before. So I've tried probably about 12 of their products at this point. And for this holiday sale, I've been feeling like my skin's been really dry. The air has been super dry where I am this year. And I was looking for something and I noticed that they had this product called Nighttime Moisture Lock Cream. And I said, "Oh, that's exactly what I've just been complaining about." And so I used this most recent holiday sale to try out this new product and see if I like it. Sometimes I love it. There have been a couple products of theirs that I didn't care for, that happens. But it was a great opportunity to try. I do really like this moisture lock product, by the way. I feel like my skin is very moisturized and dewy. So that was a good find. So be strategic about your holiday sales. Use don't feel pressured to buy things that you don't know if you're going to use. That's how I use holiday sales strategically. Is I'm stocking up and buying things from brands that I already know and love, or brands that I've been curious about for a long time and just hadn't pulled the trigger on. I never use holiday sales as a time to be like, "Ooh, who's got the biggest sale over here? Who's got the biggest sale over there? Who's got" I never do it like that, because that's how you end up buying things that you don't need or that you don't like. By the way, one other thing that I've been doing that I just did recently, and it's not so much holiday sales, but it's December. You might have an FSA or an HSA, which is a savings account that's set up through your employer in order to set aside money for health related issues or health related costs that is pre-tax. So in a way, you're saving money because you're not paying taxes on that money that you spend. And for 2 years now, there's been a product that I've been looking at, but it's pretty expensive. Well, I have a note in my planner in November to be sure to spend the FSA dollars, because if you don't spend them, they just poof go away, and that's money that you essentially lost. And so I've been looking for 2 years at this product. It's a little bit expensive, and when I saw that note, spend FSA money, it just so happened that we had more FSA money than we expected, because we ended up paying for our kids' orthodontics faster than we expected. And so now I have this money that I was going to lose if I didn't spend it. And so I thought to myself, "Hey, this is 80% of the cost of this thing that I've been wanting for 2 years now. I'm going to take advantage of the holiday sales, spend out my FSA money, and get this thing." And so boom, 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 it was like, you know, I don't really like the expression "kill 2 birds with 1 stone," but essentially that. I spent out my money, I got a holiday deal, I got something that I've been wanting for 2 years now, and I'm so excited to get it, I can't wait for it to come. I'll talk about it at a future date once I have decided if I like it or not, so you'll have to tune in for that. So that is how to maximize holiday sales for your benefit. My third topic today is about tweaking your holiday plan. Now, we all have a holiday plan. It's just sometimes you have one that's kind of random, and sometimes you have one that is strategic and you've planned it out, which, if you had done it with us, then it's strategic and planned out. And as I mentioned, if you are interested in creating a holiday plan or learning more about a holiday plan, go to our website, bywdreams.com, and you can either buy our book, right? We have this book that we wrote called Rock Your Holidays. You can buy the book, or you can do the holiday workshop, which is available on our website under things that we teach. But here is the book, and you can get it at that QR code right there. By the way, even though it's already December 5th, the Rock Your Holidays is still a great book to get, because we also talk about how to debrief from your holiday experience and to figure out what did you like and not like and what do you want to do differently. We talk about all of that in this book. So it's good to get now, it's good to get in a month, whatever, because hey, you're always going to have, right? Next year there's going to be holidays. You can learn from how it went this year. So the thing is so I come up with a pretty detailed holiday plan in terms of, I want to make cookies, I want to go see the Nutcracker, I say all the things I want to do, I put them into my planner. However, often unexpected invitations come up as the holidays are rolling through. Things that you couldn't have planned for because the invitations weren't in your box before you made your holiday plan. And this is where I would say to you, you need to remind yourself of what you want your holidays to be. And this is the first step in coming up with a holiday plan, is deciding what you want your holidays to be. If you say, I want to go to every party I'm invited to and take pictures and make amazing memories. Okay, that's one way to have the holidays. If you say, I want to go to one party this year and bake a lot of cookies, that's a completely different goal for your holidays than the other one. So when these two people get invitations to 3 parties that they hadn't been planning for, guess what? This person over here who said they wanna go to as many parties as they can go to, they're gonna say, "Yes, yes, yes." They're not even gonna have to think about it. Whereas this person over here who wants to bake cookies, they got 3 invitations. They had decided they only wanna go to one big party, because let's face it, when you go to a party and you don't wanna be there, it's just another thing to do. I don't go to a lot of parties because I'm just not really a party person. And I love 1 or 2 parties, and then I'm kind of like, "Okay, I just wanna stay home and snuggle." And so this person can get the 3 party invitations and say to themselves, "I said I wanna go to one party. Any more than that is just stressful for me. Which of these am I going to pick?" So it's a great way to just evaluate your desires. And being really clear about what you want is what helps you get the holiday season that you want. So, as the holidays are coming, remind yourself, what was it that I said I wanted this holiday season? And does this new opportunity, this new event, this new invitation fit in and help me achieve that goal? The second thing I will say is to keep fun fun. And and this might seem obvious, but I'm always surprised at how many people are like, "Ugh, I just have to do this other thing for the holidays." And I'm like, "Do you have to do it? I mean, you're not being graded on it. You're not being paid to do it. Do you really have to do it?" For instance, one thing that I'll mention is holiday cards. I don't always do holiday cards because there's some years where I'm like, holiday cards sound fun, and holiday cards should be fun. So I'm gonna do it. And there's some years where I'm like, holiday cards just sound like another thing to do, so I don't feel like doing it. Same thing with baking holiday cookies. Some years I just want to bake till I drop, and other years I'm like, I'm gonna bake one batch we're going to eat it, just us, and that's it. There are years I want to host a party. There are years I don't want to host a party. And you know what? I honor that because fun should be fun. So remember, the point of the holidays is to have fun, to reconnect with family, to rest, whatever it is that you decide. But then honor that decision and don't force yourself to do things because you think you should. We often say around here, stop shoulding on yourself. No one's going to give you an award. No one's going to pat you on the back. Like, do it because you want to do it. And that's good enough. It was funny because this year was actually one of the years that I decided I didn't feel like doing holiday cards. And this past weekend, our family went to an event and it was really fun. And we got an amazing picture taken at the event. And it was such a great picture that and such a great memory that I was like, I want to share this with people. And so at the last minute, I decided to do holiday cards. Usually when I do holiday cards, I usually already have them by Thanksgiving. So I've already been sending them out. So this year, I'm going to have holiday cards a lot later. Maybe I'll consider them New Year's cards. That's totally fine. You can even send out spring cards. You don't have to send out cards on a specific day or around a specific time. People just like hearing from you. They like seeing how your family has changed over time. And so my mom often sends out New Year or even Chinese New Year cards because my mom's side of the family is Chinese. And so feel free to send out cards at a different time of year if it's something you want to do, but you just don't want to add it to the list of things that you do during the holidays. My final tip for tweaking your holiday plan as the holidays are rolling is to remember to take time for self-care. Self-care as healthcare is one of our main goals for existing. BYWD is all about helping working moms to prioritize yourself and your goals. And part of prioritizing yourself is taking care of yourself because guess what? No one else is going to drink that water for you, take that supplement for you, or get in that exercise. No one can do it for you even. So you have to remember to take care of yourself. It's so important. And during the holidays, there's so much going on top of regular life that it can be easy to think, oh, I'll just put my self-care aside for this month. No. If anything, double up on that self-care. Get in more exercise, take more naps, go do whatever it is that makes you feel good. Every Thursday, I do a sunrise hike with some friends. And during the holidays, I actually get in more hiking because it just feeds me. I love it so much. And a lot of times I'll have the time because things are a little bit quieter in terms of work stuff. And so I get in more hiking. So remember, if you find yourself about to cross off a self-care item from your planner and say, oh, no, I don't have time for that. I just want you to give yourself permission to say, no, this is a gift I'm giving myself. I am better for it in all ways because I've taken care of myself, and do not pass up on your self-care. Thank you so much for joining me. If you want to re-listen to this, I always put this up as the Harness the Power of Planning podcast, wherever you listen. I think this will be episode 81 or 82. And by the way, for those of you who listen to the podcast, you might not know, I have started actually dividing up the segments. So it takes me a little bit longer to do that, but I put up the segment in its entirety, but then I'll divide it up into a few parts based on how many things I talk about. So if you just want to capture a quick segment, you can do it that way by looking for the parts. You just might have to wait another day for me to get it up. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you here next week. And as always, dream wild, wild dreamers. Thanks for joining us for the Harness the Power of Planning podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you listen.